In today's video, I'll be showing you how to build this compact, fully automatic level 9 steam engine that creates 148,000 stress units with the Create mod. So without further ado, let's get to building. For this build, we'll need an 8x8 foundation. These are the items we'll be using in today's build. Now, to make a steam engine, there are 4 different things you need. The first thing you'll need is a fluid tank of any size. You can actually make a fluid tank a 1x1, a 2x2, or a 3x3. And you can build this up to have more space in the tank. Now the next thing you'll need is a way to heat the fluid tank, and to do that we use blaze burners. But the blaze burner will actually need fuel to heat up the steam engine. Now for the steam engine we'll be making today, we'll be using lava as our fuel, but you can use other things like coal and wood. Now to fuel the blaze burner, all you need to do is right click with the fuel in your hand, or you can automate putting the fuel in by using a mechanical arm. And we'll get to how to use the mechanical arm later in the video. The next thing you'll need is to pump water into the fluid tank to actually create the steam. To do that, you can just use a mechanical pump with some fluid pipes going into the fluid tank and an infinite water source below. And the final thing you need is to connect a steam engine up to the side and place a shaft like this to get it to actually connect the power. You can see once we place the steam engine, the glass on the fluid tank went away and we get this little meter here. Now if you put on your engineer's goggles and then you look at the fluid tanks, you can see that there's the boiler status idle with the size, water, and heat, and the amount of stress capacity it makes. And each of those little bars on the size, water, and heat indicates a level. In this video, we'll be making a level 9 steam engine, so we'll need to get all of those up to 9 bars. Now, if you have a larger fluid tank, like we will later in the video, and you put more blaze burners under it and power them, each blaze burner will give you 1 bar of heat. And size, if you just make the fluid tank bigger, it'll get more size levels. And the more water you pump in, the higher level the water will be. If any of those 3 are a lower level than 9, it'll take whatever the lowest level out of the 3 of them is and make the steam engine produce that much power. Now for the level 9 steam engine we're making today, it'll make 148,000 stress units. So the first thing we'll want to do on our steam engine is place 9 blaze burners like this. And on top we'll place 9 fluid tanks, and we'll make this 4 blocks tall. Next we'll want to get the water into the fluid tank, and to do that we'll break these 6 blocks. We'll place 2 copycat panels here to contain the water, and then we'll fill in this area to make an infinite water source. Now we'll place 5 fluid pipes like this, and we'll place 2 mechanical pumps like this. You want to make sure this arrow is facing up so it can pump water into the fluid tank and not take water out. And to do that, you can just right click with the wrench. And for each level of steam engine you're going for, you'll need a separate steam engine block. And in this case, we'll be using 9 steam engine blocks because we'll have a level 9 steam engine. And we'll connect all of these up with shafts to make sure the power has somewhere to go. Now, to hold the lava that we'll be producing here in a second, we'll need to place down some item vaults like this. Now, to automate lava, we'll be using dripstone and cauldrons. So the first thing we'll want to do is place down 12 cauldrons like this to collect the lava. We'll need to place 12 blocks like this. We'll place a pointed dripstone underneath each block. And we'll place copycat panels on the sides to contain the lava. Now we'll make sure every block has a source of lava on top. Now this dripstone will eventually drip lava into the cauldrons like you can see here. Next we'll replace these 13 blocks with fluid pipes so we can take the lava and put it into buckets. Now to store the lava, we'll place 3 fluid tanks here. We'll place 1 mechanical pump here, making sure that the arrow is facing upwards to pull the lava out of the cauldrons into the fluid tank. And we'll place 2 more fluid pipes here to connect up to the tank. Now to put the lava into buckets, we'll place a mechanical belt with a brass funnel here and an andesite funnel there. And we'll make sure this brass funnel is facing out and this andesite funnel is facing in. Now you'll want to click this filter with an empty bucket so it knows only to output when the bucket is empty so it can fill it back up. And to get the lava into the bucket, we'll place a mechanical pump here with a spout on the end, making sure it's facing into the spout. Now whenever an empty bucket goes onto the conveyor belt here, the spout will turn it into a lava bucket, which will then get inputted back into the vault. Then we'll want to put a depot with a brass funnel outputting onto it and make sure it's filtered to only output lava buckets. Now we'll break out these 9 blocks here. Now we'll place a brass funnel here facing inward with the filter of an empty bucket. Now you'll want to right click each of these 9 blaze burners with the mechanical arm in your hand. And this yellow outline means that whenever the mechanical arm picks up an item, it'll try and deposit it into the blaze burners. Next, we'll need to take the lava from this depot, and to do that, we'll just right click and make sure it's this blue outline color here to make sure it's taking items from the depot and not putting them in. And after the mechanical arm uses a lava bucket on the blaze burner, it'll have to put the bucket back into the vault. And to do that, we'll just right click this brass funnel and make sure it's the yellow color so it can only deposit items into it. Now once you have all 11 of the blocks selected, you place down the mechanical arm. It'll save those selections to this mechanical arm. And if you hold down right click on this little square, you can see that there's 3 different distribution methods. And we'll just want to go with the first one, which should be the default one, which is round robin. Next, we'll place down this rotation speed controller and connect up a large cogwheel like this. We'll place 2 shafts here and connect up these 3 with encased chain drives. Now we'll want to set this speed to 96 counterclockwise. Now we'll place a gearbox here and rotate it vertically using the wrench. We'll place 5 encased chain drives like this and make sure this one is facing this way on the end. Then we'll place 2 more encased chain drives to connect up this conveyor belt. Now we'll place 2 cogwheels here with 2 encased chain drives like this. Now we'll place 2 cogwheels here to connect up the power from this mechanical pump to the mechanical arm since it has a cogwheel on the side. Next we'll place 3 more cogwheels to connect the power from the mechanical arm over to the mechanical pump there. Now we'll place 1 cogwheel here and 2 shafts like this connected by a gearbox which will rotate vertically using the wrench. And now this pump will have power. Now we'll need to place a can crank here to get this pump started manually so it can start the boiling. Now if we try to use this hand crank, you'll see that it overstresses because there's a lot of stuff in here and this thing only produces 256 stress units. Now we only need the water pumps to work for now, so if you temporarily break that cogwheel. Now before we start the system up, we'll need to place 1 lava bucket here so there's an actual bucket in the system for it to use. Now if you throw an empty bucket into the vault as a buffer so it's always trying to make another bucket of lava. Now you can start this hand crank and use it for about 5 seconds, and after you've done that you can replace this cogwheel and the system should start getting working. Now it'll take a second, but you can see that the heat bar is going up and the water level is already at level 9. And you'll see with each heat level, the boiler status goes up a level. Now you can see that the boiler status is at level 9 and it's getting 148,000 stress units. Now the only way this thing can stop working is if you add too much machines using the power from it and it overstresses. And if it ever overstresses, all you need to do is disconnect any machines that aren't needed to make this thing work. and then repeat the hand crank process. And once it gets back up to level 9, you can reconnect all your power and it should be fine. And finally, you can replace the 9 blocks under the blaze burners. This is the finished build. Don't forget to leave a comment down below with what Create Mod farm you'd like to see me build next. And while you're down there, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.